Stalls and the recognition of stalls. A stall occurs when the smooth airflow over the airplane's wing is disrupted and the lift generates rapidly. This is caused when the wing exceeds its critical angle of attack. This can occur at any airspeed and any altitude with any power settings. The practice of stall recovery and the development of awareness of stalls are of primary importance in pilot training. The objectives in performing intentional stalls are to familiarize the pilot with the conditions that produce stalls, to assist in recognizing an approaching stall, and to develop the habit of taking prompt preventative or corrective action. Intentional stalls should be performed at an altitude that will provide adequate height above the ground for recovery and return to normal level flight. Though it depends on the degree to which a stall has progressed, most stalls require some loss of altitude during recovery. The longer it takes to recognize the approaching stall, the more complete the stall is likely to become, and the greater loss of altitude to be expected. Recognition of stalls. Pilots must recognize the flight conditions that are conducive to stalls and know how to apply the necessary corrective action. They should learn to recognize an approaching stall by sight, sound, and feel. The following clues may be useful in recognizing the approaching stall. Vision. Vision is used in detecting a stall condition by noting the attitude of the airplane. This sense can only be relied on when the stall is in the result of an unusual attitude of the airplane. Since the airplane can also be stalled from a normal attitude, vision in this instance would be of little help in detecting the approaching stall. Hearing. Hearing is also helpful in sensing a stall condition. In the case of fixed-pitch propeller airplanes in a power-on condition, a change in sound due to loss of revolutions per minute is particularly noticeable. The lessening of the noise made by the airflow along the airplane structure as airspeed decreases is also quite noticeable. And when the stall is almost complete, vibration and incident noises often increase greatly. Kinesthesia, or the sensing of changes in direction or speed of motion, is probably the most important and best indicator to the trained and experienced pilot. If this sensitivity is properly developed, it will warn of a decrease in speed or the beginning of a settling or mushing of the airplane. Feel is an important sense in recognizing the onset of a stall. The feel of control pressure is very important. As speed is reduced, the resistance to pressures on the controls become progressively less. Pressures exerted on the controls tend to become movements of the control surfaces. The lag between these movements and the response of the airplane becomes greater until, in a complete stall, all controls can be moved with almost no resistance and with little immediate effect on the airplane. Just before the stall occurs, buffeting, uncontrollable pitching, or vibrations may begin. Several types of stall warning indicators have been developed to warn pilots of an approaching stall. The use of such indications is valuable and desirable. But the reason for practicing stalls is to learn to recognize stalls without the benefit of warning devices.